Well, welcome to the BNI Effect. I'm Tony Meredith, and ordinarily I'm a business coach, but today I'm your host and fellow BNI member, bringing you an amazing interview and some actionable tips to elevate your networking game and ultimately grow your business. And today's episode number 15, and today's guests are from Signature I.T, and they are Anthony Kuluz and Jason Boyland. G'day, guys. How you going?
Good afternoon, Tony. Always good to see you.
Great to see you guys. I was just saying off air that this podcast series is 15 episodes deep. And up until this point, I've only ever spoken to individual business owners. So to have both of you here is an absolute privilege. And I'm really looking forward to it.
As are we. Thank you for having us.
Okay. Listen, clearly we're here to talk about BNI. But before we get into that, can you provide the listeners and the viewers an overview of your business and the main services that you offer?
Okay. Signature I.T, we started in 2019. We're a full stack MSP, which is a managed service provider. That means we get inside businesses that we look after and make sure that their IT infrastructure is running well and secure. So that means for us, right at the beginning is an internet connection right through to web hosting and email security and just about everything along the way.
I can see on your signage between you guys, you've also got Talk, which is the phone side as well.
Yes, so business communications, mainly phone systems. A lot of companies like the work from home option for their staff or work from anywhere option. With our phone system that gives them that freedom to move around the countryside as they wish.
Fantastic. And you mentioned that Signature I.T came together in 2019, but the reality is that you guys independently have been doing this now for a number of years. So Jason, when did you first get into business?
I started my business probably after I finished my apprenticeship. So it would have been 2003, 2004, pulled out on my own.
Yeah,
Anthony and I actually used to work together back in the day. I was the young tech back then. But yeah, so I pulled out my own and ended up running my business by myself, sole trader from home, and then just got too busy. And then I've always kept in touch with Anthony, and we just discussed merging back in 2019. And really, yeah, we haven't looked backwards. So,
which is amazing. And Anthony, for you, so when did you first get into business?
Into business for myself, probably around 2000, although, that was sort of doing a bit of moonlighting work. But yeah, same sort of time. I think after Jason left the organization we were both working in, I thought, you know what, maybe it's time for me to do my own thing too. So yeah, just got more serious with my own business. And yeah, both of us, I suppose, haven't looked back.
It's amazing. So even though Signature I.T has been around for 5 or so years, collectively you guys have got a wealth of experience in this particular your area of expertise.
Yeah. We've been doing it for a long time, and collectively it's even longer. So yeah, we've seen just about everything.
Yeah. Amazing. All right. Now we're here to talk about BNI. So how and when were you introduced to the world of BNI?
Well, I'll go first because I think I was onboarded first. I had a client in the day. They were a printing company, and I was approached. He was a member of BNI, and he was a member of BNI Oasis. And he approached me and said, Anthony, we don't have an IT guy, and I've got all these businesses that really need IT support. Are you interested? And I went, well, of course. So I went along to my first meeting, still remember it well. And yeah, all the rest is history. I jumped in both feet.
When was your first meeting?
First meeting would have been in 2007. Maybe I'm thinking 2006, 2007. So yeah, it was a different time in BNI then.
No, but I mean, the fact is that 17 or 18 years in BNI, and I certainly look forward to unpacking that throughout this conversation. So what about for you, Jason? When were you introduced to BNI?
Actually, not long before we started talking about merging. I was invited as a visitor to a chapter here in the north. and got introduced to it. And then not long after, I heard of a startup chapter of BNI Onyx, which I was one of the startup members. And yeah, we kicked off. I think we ended up having one meeting in person, and then COVID hit, and then we basically grew the chapter online. So it was good to get back face to face after that. Yeah.
Amazing. And so Anthony was a heavy influence in you being a part of BNI?
Yes. I got introduced to it before Anthony and I sort of really discussed it. But once we, so I had a bit of an understanding of how BNI worked, but Anthony sort of filled in the gaps, and I saw the benefits of BNI, especially when Anthony spoke to me about his history and everything that he had involvement with it and how it's helped his business. So yeah, it was definitely something I saw for Signature I.T.
Excellent. How has being part of a BNI chapter influenced your approach to networking?
Oh, it's been, for me, massive. I don't know if I was a skeptic before I knew, not so much skeptic about BNI, but more about just the networking, how much you could get out of, going and meeting people once a week or once a fortnight or once a month, whatever that might have been. But it's not until you immerse yourself in a chapter, for instance, in my, or the way I look at it, it completely knocked my socks off. And for me, a big part was I didn't get the whole concept for a couple of years, and I didn't realize how powerful it could have been. So I probably was on idle for quite a few years in BNI in those early stages. And I was still making money and I was still doing business, but I was just idling.
And so what was the point then, Anthony, where you realized that this thing was a whole lot bigger than what you thought? Like that sort of trigger to go from being idle to going, hang on a second, this can be incredibly fruitful for my business.
I probably put it down to, for me, around the GFC. We looked after a couple of mining clients back in the day, and they were only, smaller mining clients out in central Queensland, and they ended up closing down and downsizing. And I thought, geez, I've got to look at another way that I can get more out of my clients or find more clients. And I went, well, I'm already going to BNI. Why don't I just actually apply myself now? And beyond, after that, I think things really did make a change. They really started moving in the right direction.
So it's like you had your own little wake-up call and said, hang on a second, I'm already in a vehicle that can deliver me wonderful outcomes. I just need to leverage it to its full potential.
Yeah, definitely. It was right in front of me, and maybe I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but it was right there, and I just decided that was going to be the vehicle to get me to the next step, and it certainly was. Once I turned it on and had that BNI radar tuned, it really started working for me.
Sometimes the simplest things are often the best, in the sense that we look for really complex solutions to problems, but just listening to what you're saying, it's like, well, actually, it was a really simple solution. I didn't have to go anywhere new. I was already in BNI. Yeah. I just had to, start to do the things that they told me to do.
Yeah, just being more involved in the members, and it was literally a light bulb moment where I flicked the switch, and it became so much more than I expected.
Amazing. Jason, what about for you, mate? When, how's being part of a BNI chapter influenced your approach to networking?
Well, basically, it probably introduced me to networking, because working in IT, you're always behind a computer, sole trader, working from home. And I think a lot of, people that are sole traders and run their business from home. So they don't really get to go out and meet people and meet contacts. You sort of have your own little closed network of probably a few people. And when you visit a BNI chapter, they talk about referrals, and the first thing you think about is referrals and money and growing your business. But not until you join and you see the benefits of the people and the building, the relationships and the contacts. And I value that. Referrals are a bonus. I value the contacts and the people first, and helping them. And you know, and you know, you can just pick up the phone and contact one of them if you need support yourself. You know, it is a support network. And I think a lot of us in self-employed and in business need that, especially more now than ever. So that's that. BNI introduced me to networking. It got me out of my comfort zone, because I can probably confidently say I am not a public speaker, but I've grown as an individual. So the benefits for the business as well as personal reasons, it's been amazing. So best decision, I think.
And let's talk about that. So you're saying that it was initially the commercial reality, then you discovered that there's all these relationships that you could build, etc. But then along with all that is this personal growth. You said that you're not comfortable in speaking in front of people, but yet BNI has helped you with that. Now, a lot of people are incredibly fearful of speaking in front of people. So what specifically did BNI do, or how did BNI help you, Jason, in sort of overcoming that fear and building that skill of speaking in front of people?
Look, I think when you turn up every week, and they talk about visibility, you turn up every week, those strangers in the room become familiar, they become your friends. So the nerves eventually go away, becomes a bit more natural. And that's what it did. It's got me out of my comfort zone. Taking a role, like a leadership role in BNI, I think made a big difference as well. I did do a president role, and I did find it challenging, good challenging, I'll say, but that pulled me right out of my comfort zone. And that's good. You gotta do that. So I would, anyone listening to this in BNI, I'd recommend considering a leadership role.
So let's talk about that. What prompted you to take on the president role? Because that's ultimately as the president title is, you're the in charge ultimately of that chapter. Yeah,
look, personal growth, I think, for one. I knew that it would be a challenge and I should challenge myself. And I gave it the full term, and giving back to the chapter as well. So there was a few presidents we're only a young chapter in our fourth year. So there was 2 presidents before me. So just giving back to the chapter after referrals that we get. So I moved from president to visitor host as well. So you're still in front of the members and the visitors. So definitely recommended.
Certainly helped when you had a business partner that was saying, "Yeah, do it, get in there, be a president."
That's it. And also,
sorry, go, Jace. Yeah.
Visibility was another reason. Being a president, you are contacted by visitors. So I also saw it not as an opportunity for growing our chapter, but also just being in front of new people and learning. They would then know about Signature I.T.
Fantastic. And Anthony, you've been a president along the way as well.
Yeah, a couple of times of BNI Oasis. I think at last count it was 6 times. So certainly had a red hot crack at being a president. Eventually I might even be good at it one day soon. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. How do you measure success of your participation in BNI? And Anthony, you've been there for 17, 18 years. I mean, clearly there's reasons why you keep coming back year after year, 6 goes at president, etc. How do you guys measure success?
Well, for me, and it's the old saying, you come to BNI for the business or the money, and you stay for the support. So we couldn't have done what we've done with our business in recent years if we didn't have an awesome team of humans behind us. And not only here in our office, but I truly mean our chapters respectively. They give every time we go there. There's always something for us, and it doesn't necessarily need to be a referral. It can be just a conversation or just a few words of wisdom. You just cannot put a price on that. It's just been phenomenal for us.
Now, what about for you, Jason?
Yeah, look, we success for me. I mean, you look at the referrals, you look at the thank you for closed business. We always are looking at our stats, but also just getting referred to. Getting a referral. The members trust you. They know you're going to do a good job. So I feel that's a big part of our success because we've built the trust over time, and it can take time build the trust of the members. Also, one of our biggest clients has come from a BNI referral. So yeah, I can see different areas of success when it comes to BNI for us.
Yeah,
excellent.
There's more than one place, and too many to mention here. We haven't got enough time.
Right, we'll have so that's a hint to do a follow-up podcast.
Yeah, we'll need to do part 2.
How has your business evolved since joining BNI? Let's focus on Signature I.T. So the last sort of 5 or so years, how has Signature I.T. evolved since joining BNI, and what role has networking played in that growth?
Well, it's growing our business. There's no two ways about that. It always keeps us, on the ball. We're forever looking for ways to improve our business, which flows onto our clients. Just so many aspects of just being better people has been taken from our memberships. Wanting to never let anyone down, like that's a big one for us. If we take it, we want to do the best job, and almost okay is not good enough. It's got to be, for us, it's got to be pretty spot on. So, and by being surrounded, sorry, Tony, by being surrounded by professionals, nothing else, there is no other answer.
Yeah. Jason, you were sharing with me off air that you love BNI so much, it means so much to your business. You've actually got some staff in other chapters as well.
Yes, yeah. So, I mean, we've grown our business. Our team has grown, and we both truly think that definitely we've got BNI to thank for that. But yeah, we do. We've got another 2 staff members, so we're in four BNIs at the moment. And yeah, it's also, I think I'm hoping that they will see the same, feel the same growth as an individual as I experienced when I first joined BNI. So yeah.
And do you think it's different for an employee versus an owner to be in BNI?
I do, in terms of when it comes to representing the business. But our guys are pretty good.
Yeah.
We look after them. If they're starting early, we'll give them some time in lieu. And they also see the benefits. They're actually using BNI members for their own. One of my guys, our staff members, using someone who needs his aircon cleaned. So they also see the benefits in having these extra contacts as well in their life. And they always come to us. Do you know someone who can, if it's not in their chapter, they know the power of BNI and the networking. So.
And then you've got their growth as well. They get the opportunity to what used to terrify them and it terrifies so many, the old public speaking. I don't think anyone ever gets truly used to that, where they don't have to think about it. But yeah, these guys, you can just see that they're just coming out of their shell and starting to really develop as better humans, I suppose.
It's amazing. So personal growth as well as professional growth. So that's excellent. Yeah. What advice would you give to new BNI members to make the most out of their membership?
Who do you want to answer that?
We'll start with you, Jace.
Why not? I love going first. Look, I would definitely sort of say treat BNI, and you've probably heard it before, treat BNI as your biggest client. Visibility. No one's going to get to know you if you're not rocking up to every single meeting. If you cannot be there, bring a sub, have someone there representing your business, so you don't sort of fade away in the distance, because if they don't know you and they don't know your business, they're not going to recommend you. They're not going to talk about you, always being in the front of their mind when they're seeing their friends and family. That would be one of the things I would be pushing for some of the new members. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Anthony? What's your advice?
My advice is, if you're going to join, get involved. Don't muck around. Don't make excuses. You know, these cold mornings, you know, they're shockingly cold here in Brisbane. Yeah, we you know, we look for excuses to maybe not show up to a meeting here and there, but yeah, jump in both feet, show up, and it will pay dividends. We know that. So
Commit is what I'm hearing. So if you're going to go to the bother of joining up, paying the money, etc., commit, because you'll get out of it what you put into it.
The C word.
And also, you know, you're never going to miss a meeting with your client. If a client wants to see you and you put it in your calendar, you know, you're not going to want to miss it because there's a good chance they're going to go somewhere else. So treat BNI as a client, even though it's, you know, we treat it as the biggest client. It's locked in, your meeting's locked into your calendar the same time every week. You know, that is your marketing time for your business. And if you treat it like that,
it's a non-negotiable for us.
Excellent. Well, and I can certainly tell the fact that the pair of you in it, as well as you've got 2 other staff members as well. So I can see, and I'm sure the viewers and the listeners will get a sense of how much BNI means to you guys individually, but then also to your organisation. So what's next for your business? Have you got any exciting projects or expansions on the horizon for Signature I.T?
Yeah, well, for next, Jason and I have just come back from the States. We just did some, got more information on cyber security in the States, and one of the exciting parts of that conference was using AI to protect your clients. So if we were to call them bad guys, the bad guys are using AI to increase their chances. And from the flip side, us good guys are using AI too. So, you know, we're looking at trying to implement that as it becomes available more readily to us MSPs. So yeah, that's a big, could be a game changer. And certainly if we're not in it, we're not in it. So.
Yeah. Okay. And Jason, how do you see your relationship with BNI evolving as your business grows and you get more involved in the likes of AI, etc.?
Yeah, look, I guess when I do my presentation, I always do a little bit of a bit about our business, but also a bit of a cyber presentation. We always talk about awareness training or security awareness, but just being aware. So I do try to talk to my BNI members about that. But also as we grow our business, we do see our involvement with BNI growing with us. So if we do bring some more staff and, you know, there's places available, yeah, get them, if we can get them in a chapter, for sure.
Okay.
And yeah.
Excellent. If you could share one piece of wisdom each with the listeners, regardless if they're BNI members or not, what would that piece of wisdom be? Anthony, let's start with you.
Okay. For me, I don't think we put enough value on face-to-face networking. I think we spend a lot of time behind ads and all the rest of it and whatnot. Whereas I think humans still love dealing with humans, even in our age today. There's a human factor, and that will never disappear.
Excellent, wonderful.
So be involved with that.
Yeah. Okay. So be in person, be face to face. I love it. Yeah. Jason, what about you?
Oh, look, I just think that you know, if you've never been to a BNI chapter before and you're a little bit wary and you're not sure, and just try it. Just turn up, see what you think. Try a few chapters. You might sort of find that you gel with other chapters, or if there's a chapter that's closer to where you are or where your business is. But give it a go, and come a few times, and then, you know, definitely you'll see the rewards. And you, if you listen to the members and listen to the I haves, and you'll get to know that, yeah, eventually it will help your business.
So just quickly, for the viewers and listeners who aren't familiar with BNI, so what does the I haves mean?
So I have a referral. I have closed business to announce. I would like to give someone a testimonial or thank them, or just announce if you've got a visitor. So yeah, I haves are basically what you've done throughout the week and what you've received and what you've given.
Yeah, it's a summary of our week that was in BNI. So
so effectively all of your outputs basically is sort of a summary of that. I love it. Fantastic. Hey guys, thank you. We've come to the end, but before we go, how can listeners learn more about your business? Where can they get in touch with you?
Very easily through BNI Connect, of course, if they're BNI members. If not, the W's signatureIT.com.au, email us at help@signatureIT.com.au, or the old-fashioned phone call 1300 172 172.
Outstanding. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Jason. I really appreciate it. I've loved learning more about your business, and I know the viewers and listeners will do that as well. So that wraps up another episode of the BNI Effect. I hope that you've enjoyed today's discussion. I want to extend a massive thank you to Anthony Kuluz and Jason Boyland for sharing their insights. Significant members of the BNI community now have 2 of their staff in BNI as well. So it's been a really fascinating conversation. Look, if you found value in today's episode, please don't forget to subscribe to the BNI Effect on your favorite podcast platform. And until next time, keep networking, keep growing, and remember, your success is our priority here at the BNI Effect. Bye for now.